Hello everyone, and today topic is a singly reinforced beam by working stress method, and in this topic I am going to discuss the all grade of concretes, grade of steel, stress strain diagram, and neutral axis, section of moment of resistance, balance section, and the reinforced, over reinforced, and design constant over there for a working stress method. Okay, so my name is Parag Paul, and if you not yet subscribe my channel, so please click on that button of the subscribe and please subscribe my channel, and I hope you like this video. Okay, so first of all I am here to discuss about the grade of concrete. Okay, so this video is all about the working singly reinforced section of the beam of working stress method. Okay, and first of all we are going to discuss about the grade of concrete. Grade of concrete. Okay, so grade of concrete is nothing but is really very important parameter when we are discussing about the permissible stresses in the beam. Okay, so the grade of concrete is divided in different parameters. It denoted in terms of the M. Okay, M stand for mix over there. Okay, and 50. Okay, M15 is nothing but the mix of the 50. Okay, it's like it is differentiated in a certain manner that M is nothing but the mix of the particular concrete. Okay, I am sorry for the background noise, but it somewhat gets very noisy. Okay, so the concrete grades are there, and with respect to that, there is sigma CBC, that means the permissible stresses in a concrete for a bending compression. Okay, so for respect to the grade of concrete grade, there is a different permissible stresses. Okay, like for M20, M100, M15 grade of concrete. Okay, for M15 grade of concrete, there is sigma CBC is equals to 5. Okay, 5 Newton per mm square. Okay, so this is what exactly for the M15, sigma M15, the permissible sigma CBC is the permissible stresses for the concrete. Okay, thus the working stress method factor of safety is nearby 3 is used for a concrete. So the factor of safety we are using for a concrete is 3. Okay, and what are this is for a concrete grade, the sigma CBC, that means permissible stresses is 5. Similarly, for a M20 grade of concrete, we have, if you wanted to write this, then please write, because these things are really very important. For M20 grade of concrete, it is a sigma CBC is around 7 Newton per mm square. I can write over there, Newton per mm square. Okay, and for M25, sigma CBC is equals to 8.5 Newton per mm square. Okay, for M30, sigma CBC is equals to 10 Newton per mm square. Okay, so these are all the values which are required for during the parameter of the working stress method when we are going to differentiate, when we are taking the sigma CBC. So you have to know about all these things. Okay, you should go from all these things. So M15, M25, M25, M30. So with respect to the what are the permissible stresses over there, all things you have to know, and the values are really very important. Okay, so for M15 it is 5, 7, 8.5, 10. This order you have to remember. Okay, and during the examination, this order is really very important. It is not given in an examination hall, so examination paper, so it is really very important to know. Okay, after that I am going to discuss the grade, as we discuss about the grade of concrete. Now we are going to discuss about the grade of steel. Okay, what the grade of steel over there? Okay, because sigma CBC is the grade of concrete. In working stress method, not only the concrete is to be there, only grade of steel also there. Okay, so grade of steel. Okay, so grade of steel is here. Okay, so this grade of steel, there is a different grade of steel, or then along with that there is a permissible stresses are also given different. Okay, so sigma CBC is a permissible sigma CBC. Okay, what exactly sigma CBC is a permissible stresses in concrete in bending compression. This is permissible, but it comes in a bending compression. Bending compression. Okay, and what the sigma ST we take, it is a permissible stress for what grade of steel. Okay, which is in steel, in which it is permissible stresses for a steel also. Okay, so this is what stresses in steel, which is nothing but permissible stresses in steel. Okay, so now the grade of steel. Okay, so these are the two important parameter in a working stress method. So main thing is that the grade of steel for the mild steel grade section 1, which is Fe 250, the grade of steel is given for the sigma st for Fe 250 is nothing but 140, okay, and 130. These are the two values for a grade of steel. This is 140 Newton per mm square, okay, and this is Newton per mm square. The 140 is particularly for the 20 mm dia, okay, 20 mm dia, and this is also for a 20 mm. It is up to the 20 mm dia, okay, at up to only the 20 mm dia, and it is over 20 mm dia. Okay, so this is at equals to the 20 mm and this is what the above the 20 mm dia. Okay, so these things are the important for the Fe 250 mild steel. If I am going to talk about the Fe 4 and 5, which steel is called the torch steel. Okay, torch steel. So it is the sigma st for this is 230 Newton per mm square. Okay, now for Fe 500, okay, Fe 500, which is also called as a torch steel, the sigma st for this is as a 275 Newton per mm square. So these are the things which is used for the as a grade of steel, and the factor of safety for the steel is used as a 1.8, and the factor of safety in column in concrete is taken as a nearby 3. Okay, so these are the two things really very important, and the rest of the things. Okay, now we are further proceed for the stress strain diagram. With respect to that, I'll explain you what exactly the sigma CBC and sigma ST is belongs there, and what is the modular ratio. Actually, what is the depth of the neutral axis, what is the critical depth, what is total depth, what is the effective depth. All these things are really very important. Leverham constant. These are all the constant of the working stress method. Here we go for the all this constant. Okay, so first of all, I draw one diagram. With respect to that diagram, I will explain you all the what exactly the stress strain diagram is all about. Okay, so the stress strain diagram. Okay, so stress strain diagram here, what exactly, this is what here the beam, that means consider this is what exactly your beam. Okay, this is the one single line in which we can differentiate, that means it is a straight line, which straight line represent your neutral axis. Actually not exactly neutral axis, it represent one line. Okay, I'll explain what exactly, actually it is a neutral axis, but the neutral axis may be because of it varying. Okay, if it is under reinforced section, so it change. If it's over reinforced section, then it is also changed. Okay, so now in this way, okay, it is what your sigma CBC, what is the permissible stress in a concrete. Okay, because why it is at a top level, because it is for only the compression. Here what the compression coming along. Okay, and at the top and at the bottom here what we take, because this is take for the sigma st upon x. Okay, so this thing. Okay, now the whatever this up to this portion, it is taken as the x by 3. Okay, I'll explain you what exactly x and what exactly all this thing. Okay, at what exactly of the c is taken as b into x. Okay, into sigma CBC by what 2. Okay, and what is from this point to this point. Okay, up to from this to this, the z value is taken as d minus of x by 3. Okay, and what the tension from along this side, okay, is taken as T equals to AST dot sigma st. Okay, these things are really very important to know. All you just let me tell you one time to draw all these things. I'll draw it very fast. Wait a minute. Okay, this is what x, and this is what d minus of x to only this portion, d minus of x or over diameters. I'll also explain you what exactly the effective length. Okay, because the effective length is also really very important. Okay, to know. Okay, so this is what total d or total D. This is what B. Okay, and yeah, from this is up to this. Okay, this is what exactly effective cover. Okay, and from this point, I'm really sorry if my diagram is not so good. I can draw over there. From this to it is small d. Okay, so now, okay, so this diagram, okay, this diagram, especially this diagram is called as the equivalent stress diagram. Okay, so this diagram, what the diagram you can see over there, this diagram is called as the equivalent stress diagram. At the top there is a sigma CBC, which is come because of the compression, and at the bottom sigma STPM, which is the grade of the steel, which is called as the permissible stress in the steel. These are the permissible stresses in concrete because of the compression. These are the permissible stresses in a sigma steel, permissible stress in a steel. Okay, M defined as a modular ratio. Okay, this axis, whatever the difference you can see over here, the M is represented neutral axis. Okay, and X is represented depth of the neutral axis, where the D, this D is known as the effective length. What exactly effective depth? Okay, effective depth. Okay, this effective depth is nothing but the example is like here one column, one section of the beam. Okay, the reinforcement is provided over here. Okay, so the center, this up to this total, this distance is capital D, but the effective depth is nothing but that the center of, that means the topmost portion. Okay, from topmost portion to the center of the diameter of the bar. So this portion, okay, is known as the small d, which is called as the effective depth. Okay, and also this distance, that means from up to this, that means the end of the bar to the end of this section, this section is called as a effective depth, effective cover. Okay, so effective cover is provided for the steel to avoid the corrosion and to avoid the steel to open to the atmosphere. Okay, so that's why the effective cover is provided. Now the main thing is that here the B, okay, B minus X is nothing but this is the depth of the neutral axis. So rest of these things is given as effective cover minus of the effective depth minus of the neutral axis, depth of the neutral axis, so you get D minus of X. Okay, with respect to that, here the tension is because of the, this is a permissible stress in the steel, so that's why tension is determined, which is at this side the tension is come, okay, which is AST into sigma ST, and above side the compression is come, which is BX into sigma CBC by 2. Okay, these are the two things which is really very important. With respect to these things, we have to define what exactly the compression and tension come with the coming the section. Now, how the tension and compression member are divided. Now the main, I'll explain you. Okay, this is what you are the section. Okay, when the loading is applied, example, if this such a sort of the loading is applied on that, UDL loading is applied, which is a W, which is applied on this. Okay, so after application of the W, it may be in such a manner. Okay, so not in this manner. I'll diagram draw properly. Okay, I'll draw it here. It may be such a that. Okay, so what exactly happening? This portion is come in a compression member. Compression. Okay, so here is all the components come in a saturated manner, and this portion come in what tension. Okay, here is a tension and here is a compression. Always remember, because of the loading at this, from wherever the at which point the loading is coming, at that side only the compression is there, and the opposite side coming in tension. Okay, and all this tension is resisted by this steel. Okay, so because of the steel, this thing may not happen. So that's why the steel we are providing over here. Okay, so this is what the main steel we are providing. Okay, so this is the main thing why we are providing the steel. Okay, so now in this diagram you can see that at topmost level no any steel is required, no any steel provided. if there is a steel given to you, this steel has work as an anchor bars only, because they are used to tie this bar only. That's it. Okay, but I am not writing over there because stress strain diagram is not in such a manner. Okay, so at the bottom tension is come, and tension is found the AST into sigma ST, and upper portion sigma CBC compression perimeter stresses, and compression is coming Bx into sigma CBC by 2. Okay, so this thing coming over there. After that, there are something that means some constant over there. So I explain what exactly said, what exactly all these things. Okay, so x is nothing but this x is called as the depth of the neutral axis. Neutral axis is nothing but this axis. Okay, what this axis exactly? Okay, now what this axis is named as? If this axis at this middle portion, so it is called as a compression equals to tension. Okay, so whatever the compression coming over there, tension is also there. Okay, that means that means it is called as a balance section. Okay, if the moment, and from that we can calculate the moment of resistance. If the x, that means the depth of neutral axis is more than the critical depth of the neutral axis. Okay, so that reinforcement is called as the over reinforcement. Okay, if this x is greater than xc is called as a over reinforcement. If the x is less than xc is called as a under reinforcement. Okay, so these things I will explain later. Okay, so first of all I explain you what are the values, what is the Z. Z is nothing called as a lever arm. Okay, this lever arm is nothing but the distance between the compression and the tension. Okay, lever arm is nothing, you can see in this diagram, lever arm, which is what I denoted, it is the distance between the compression and tension. Okay, what are the compression and tension coming in your beam? The distance between that is given by the Z, which is called as the lever arm. Okay, T is nothing but total tensile force, C is called as the total compressive force, M is nothing but modular ratio, and the modular ratio given by M equals to 280 upon 3 into sigma CBC. Okay, this is also given in as 456 2000. Okay, so this is what modular ratio also, it comes as modular ratio. Now I'll go to find now I step by step I can tell you how to determine the neutral axis, depth of neutral axis, how to define the critical depth of the neutral axis, how to determine the balance section differentiation. So in this video I am going to also discuss with you that what is a neutral axis. Okay, so let me rub this first. Okay, it takes some time because this things make some, this board is really very short. Okay, so now this we are now talking about the neutral axis. Okay, now we are going to talk about the neutral axis, which is called as a NA. As we know that we draw one box circle, from there we just draw this section. Okay, so this is what axis is called as a neutral axis. Okay, now we have to find out to find actual neutral axis. If you have to determine the actual neutral axis, the formula is coming as B into x square by 2. Okay, that means B into x square by 2 is equals to M into AST. Okay, in bracket D minus of x. Okay, so this is what exactly the formula where we can determine the depth of the neutral axis, and it means exactly neutral axis, that means this thing x. Okay, so now how we can, the B is nothing but this value. Okay, B is nothing but this value. Okay, x is nothing but the depth, neutral axis depth. D is nothing but the effective depth up to only this span. Okay, up to the center of the bar only. Okay, AST, the formula for the AST, which is called as the steel, which is called as the area of the steel, and formula is you can calculate number of bar. Okay, multiply by pi by 4 into diameter square. Okay, so AST is nothing but is given by number of bars multiplied by pi by 4 into whatever the diameter of the bar come using this whatever the bar you are using in the section. So these bar like 8 mm dia, okay, yeah, 10 mm dia, yeah, 12 mm dia, whatever using, you can just place on them, and how many number, like 2 numbers, so 2 number. Okay, so in that way you can get a AST. So this is simple method, with the help of that you can determine the depth of the neutral axis. Okay, now second thing is that where you have to determine the critical depth of the neutral axis. What is exactly the critical depth of the neutral axis or critical neutral axis? Okay, critical neutral axis is given by xc. Why I am going to talk? Why I am telling you to determine neutral axis and depth of neutral axis? Whenever the numerical is come like for about the working stress method, you have to compare these two things, and then and only then you can determine the movement of resistors. Okay, this is what basic video. I made this basic video for only you because whenever you are going to solve any sort of the numerical of the working stress method, you can find you have to go through these steps only. You cannot go through different steps. So first step is you have to determine the depth of the neutral axis, and then you can determine the depth of critical depth of the neutral, which is given by xc. Okay, so this xc we can calculate in a simple manner: sigma cbc upon sigma st upon m, okay, equals to xc upon d minus of xc. Okay, so this is what the formula. If you put all the value in there properly, sigma cp, the m15 is given, so you can you know the sigma cbc m15 is nothing but the 5 Newton per mm square. You have to just put out there for sigma st. If it's Fe4 and 5, Fe500 given, then you can properly place the sigma st value. Okay, modulus you can simply calculate 280.3 into sigma cbc. Okay, so with the and d you can, it is the effective depth. Okay, this is what exactly effective depth. Okay, so by using all these value, you can simply calculate the critical value. Now after that, whenever you calculate x and sigma, now I rub this value, and with respect to critical and the normal depth of neutral axis, I'll explain you what exactly the new depth the section can be categorized. So it is your the normal and neutral axis, depth of neutral axis, and this is what your critical depth of neutral axis. The three parameters in this working stress method are there. Okay, I just write these three all parameter. If it is equal, that means balance section. If it is x is less than xc, it is a under reinforced section. If x is greater than xc, it is a balanced reinforced section or over reinforced section. Okay, so diagrammatical representation for all these things are in such a manner you can simply understand what the diagram says. Okay, because stress strain diagram always really very important, and which tell you tell you the exactly behavior. Now in balance section it is not going to tough. It is not so much of tough. It is sigma cbc and it is sigma st upon m. Okay, now in this section what is going to happen here? The x and xc is indirectly equals. Okay, no any problem. In this section x is less than xc, so what happened? X is less, so x is there and xc is more. So because of that, the x is less and x is more. So that it means that the tension is max. Okay, and compression what is low as compared to the in this parameter. So in this way that the steel reaches maximum permissible stresses. The meaning of in this section, which is the under reinforced section, it means that the steel reaches the maximum permissible or allowable stresses before that of the concrete. That means the concrete, before the concrete, the steel is going to reach the maximum permissible stresses. Failure takes place due to the steel at the sufficient warning due to the yielding of the steel. Okay, steel is provided in less than that is required for a balance section, and for this the moment of resistance for such a under reinforced section is given by T into 11R. Okay, so T into 11R, that means what does a moment of resistance? What is the formula for movement? Is force into perpendicular distance, or force into perpendicular distance. So similarly, what the lever arm exactly? Lever arm is nothing but the distance between compression and tension. This is what lever arm. Okay, so the in moment of resistance, in under reinforced section, the steel is taking the maximum permissible stresses. Okay, so the T multiplied by this distance. Okay, here the tension is come, so it is called as a Z. Okay, so force into perpendicular distance, so tension multiplied by perpendicular lever arm. Okay, so what is the formula for tension we are taking over there? Is taken as a AST into sigma ST, and lever arm formula is nothing but D minus of x by 3. Okay, so this is what exactly the formula. Now if I go for the next condition where the x is maximum and x is low, in this mean that the permissible stresses come maximum in the concrete with compared to the steel. So here the sigma CBC is maximum rather than sigma ST by m. It means that the x is greater than xc, so it in like this, so C multiplied by Z. Okay, so it is like here the moment of resistance in under reinforced section so over reinforced section is compression multiplied by Z. The compression formula is nothing but Bx sigma CBC by 2 multiplied by D minus of x by 3. Okay, so this thing actually over there. So why this thing is come? Because of the permissible stresses in a concrete is maximum with respect to the steel, as because of the depth of the neutral axis is maximum than the critical depth of the neutral axis. So that's why this condition occurs. It means that the concrete reaches the maximum permissible stresses with respect to is comparing to steel. Okay, if you talk about the under reinforced section, so steel reaches the maximum of permissible stresses. With if you are talking about the over reinforced sections, it is called as a over reinforced section. Okay, over reinforced section. That means the steel reaches minimum permissible stress as compared to the concrete, because concrete reaches the maximum permissible stresses. Okay, the failure takes place due to the crushing of the concrete and ultimate load, and this collapse is sudden. Okay, in this condition the collapse is sudden. Okay, it happens because of the concrete, and the steel provided is more than that the steel is required for the balance section. We have to always make this category of the section. Our output, we have to make any sort of the beam what we are going to design it in a balance section. It is not we don't want for a over reinforced or under reinforced section. If these two conditions occur, then in one case the steel may be failure, in second case concrete may be failure. So both these cases are two failure. That's only this reason tends to be why tends toward the limit state method. Okay, this is what exactly one of the basic reasons why we are tends toward the limit state of method. Now this is what exactly all these things. Now I think you all are you already get all the data regarding what is this exactly stress strain diagram. Okay, if you are not getting properly understood, then please watch again and again. You can simply understood your problem. And still, if you are not subscribed my channel, then please subscribe. I'll motivate you because of your subscription and your comment and your likes. So please subscribe my channel. That's why I'll upload lots of video for you guys. Okay, so now I just further proceed for your design constant. Okay, design constant are one of the main thing in our working stress method, because lots of the students don't know what are the design constant, how to remember this. Okay, now as I told you the stress strain diagram, with the respect to that you can simply understood what exactly it is. Okay, I'm not making the video in Hindi, because what happens, my English is not so good. Okay, my English can be simply one single person can be understood. So that's why I make the video in English, not in Hindi. If I'm going to make the video in Hindi, so the other person get problem. So English is a total overall language, and we are engineer and we have to adopt all the English languages. So that's why I make the video in English. Okay, so this is not a parameter. Okay, so we are go for a design constant actually there. Okay, so design constant. Okay, what exactly design constant comes under the working stress method? So design constant come in a working stress method are first it a neutral axis constant. Okay, which is given by K. Okay, so this is given by K or N. The formula here or K is equals to 1 upon 1 plus sigma St upon m into sigma CBC. This is what exactly the formula for the neutral axis. Okay, then we go for the moment of resistance constant. Okay, which is given by Q, and the formula is Q equals to 1 by 2 multiplied by K into J into sigma CBC. Okay, then we go for the lever arm constant. Okay, I think my pain, all the liquid can be gone. Okay, so it is given by J, as we know that, and it is given by 1 minus of K by 3. Okay, and another is a constant for percentage of steel. Okay, so these things what we have to this is called as the pretty balance. Okay, this thing we have to use during the solving the numerical. Okay, so that's why I made this basic video sigma CBC upon the sigma of SC. Okay, so hope that you guys simply understand what exactly the working stress method. Okay, what are the problem come in a stress strain diagram? Why under enforced and over enforced section we can manage properly permissible stresses to make it a balanced section. Our output is always a balanced section to make it as a balanced section. Okay, so hope you guys done with this working stress method. If you not yet subscribe my channel, so please subscribe. Okay, don't forget to like my video. Don't forget to comment also. Okay, if you like beneficial for you, then please comment thanks you or whatever the comment you want to do. But if you have any sort of the question, then please wrote in the following comment box, and don't forget to visit my channel, which is called as a www.civilnotes.com. Okay, this site will be more beneficial for you, and I will come with a new project topics for you guys. Okay, as the time passes on, I will come with a new topic for you. Just please motivate me, and please keep watching and keep learning, and have a nice day. Bye.